homies? I'm back. I am back. And yeah, had to disappear for a single day. I had a very not so fun surprise rest day when, let me just be frank. I did it to myself 100%. There are times when I'm working at the psych unit. You guys know I do my 12-hour night shifts. I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. They're long-ass shifts. And I'm going to get the munchies, especially when I do a hard workout like I did last time and just really wanted to feel something, So I was like, let's order as much Taco Bell as humanly possible. So I actually picked up from my whole unit. That was awesome. Had a nice chicken caliente quesadilla, grilled cheese steak burrito. Oh! I love Taco Bell. I don't care that it's going to kill me. Oh, I earn it when I eat it. But what I really did, that was a mistake, beyond Taco Bell already trying to put your colon into shambles, was I am a slut for their Cinnabons. They are so good. They're so good. And they are just driving diabetes there. Let me tell you, because the fact that they have there are only two options is either A, you get 2 Cinnabons, which is nothing for a fat one like me, for almost $3. And you'd be like, I guess that maybe is okay. Are they expensive? Are they hard to make? They sell the 12-pack for $6.50. So, I have to get the 12. I have to. I don't care that it technically is still spending more money. I'm getting the quantity over quality, damn it. And so, typically, even though 12 is way too much, I can handle that. The issue was the fact of, out of my whole unit, we ordered a total of 48 Cinnabons, to which I may or may not have eaten 20 in 10 minutes. That was what did me in. And the sad thing is, the food digested. I actually felt okay. It was when I got home that I realized either A, someone didn't wash their hands, or B, they gave us the Cinnabons from 2 weeks ago, because, my body emptied itself both ways. So, at the very least, got the call out of work. That was nice. Got a lot more days off now, but again, I never want to take a rest day when I don't have to, but the fact that I felt sick the morning of, even if I felt a little bit better, it was just more worth getting the full rest that I needed instead of rushing back in to potentially hurt myself or get sick again. So here we are. Long story short, which, short story was ended up being long, but we're here, and I did wonderfully. We did very, very well. As I mentioned last time, I wanted to switch back to a good even mixture of the Olympic lifting. What worked for me was going heavy, either triples, doubles, or singles, like the normal progressive overload, on just those 2 days of the week where I do heavy snatch or clean and jerk. Like last workout for clean and jerk, that's what that would have been. And then every other lift, if it's squats or bench or my pulls, those are more my power lifts, or the lifts that keep my core consistent. Those are the ones I'm going to keep with the set volume being a bit higher, doing the same amount of reps every single set no matter what, and then ending on a good enough technique to where the technique is first, or consistent, great, awesome. The recovery Olympic days, which is what the snatches were today, are now only singles, and especially on my heavy days. I'm not going to do like triples or doubles as my warm-ups anymore. It's just too much for my body to handle fatigue-wise. However, on the recovery days like today, what got me almost the most passionate beyond just gaining strength was being able to do the most technically difficult accessory lifts of the snatch clean and jerk that I could. They were so much fun. Nothing was as uplifting as that. Not because, I wasn't really gaining much strength. I wasn't really doing much for my long-term big boy muscles. But, dude, when you try something new that you've never done before, or something that you barely ever do, that's purely just hard because you made it hard, and there's no standard, there's no expectation, and you just whip the number that feels the best with the best technique, feels good. So I want that to be my recovery day system again. But again, really hammering home, we're not going too heavy, just comfortably heavy, to where the technique, the moment the technique falters, the moment I'm starting to use my main muscle group strength instead of my core and my technique to hold the barbell over my head, that's when we stop. And let me tell you, I did as slow a tempo snatch to the knee as I could, and then before whipping underneath it to really hammer home the low back and get that CNS fried in the way I want to. And Today was more of like I want my squats and my bench to be consistent because I hit 4 plates for 3 last time. That was the goal today. But this is the day where it's more okay if I don't hit it, So I wanted to really hammer the CNS. Really did a good job on that. The technique was beautiful. Beautiful. Up to 205, zero complaints at all. And by the way, zero complaints at all whatsoever. The only complaint I can even really have, because I locked it in. I had some good damn lifts today. And everything, again, especially because at 205, that's been more heavy recently because of all the volume I've been doing. Now that I'm chilling out a little bit more, it's getting back to normal, That's the whole point. I have the basis now, my core's strong enough, I can whip something heavier. And 205 just flew way too well. There was no point in not going up. And with how good it goes, I'm not going to, especially on a recovery day, I'm not going to just start adding by 10 pounds at a time, I take 20-pound jumps on my recovery days because it's either I 100% have it or I 100% don't, And on my heavier days, that's where I can mess around with like doing smaller jumps because I'm trying to do a heavy weight, And it was just too good not to. And the 225 flew. Oh, it flew. Because not only that, I had a great discussion with one of the homies that I just met today. I've never talked to him before, but he was like, yeah, man, I see you in here all the time. And I respect it. And I was like, dog. Oh, I'm telling you, you do not know what opportunities are going to present themselves to you sometimes. Because that doesn't just mean material. That doesn't just mean job. That doesn't just mean, new experience. It's people too, On top of everything else, people are involved in that as well. Heavily. It's one of those things where, like, you can't plan an opportunity, You can only take advantage of it when it shows itself and hope that it appears one day, You cannot plan for it. You can hope for it as much as you want. And then the moment it potentially shows itself, you got to hammer home as hard as you can. Because I was tired today. I'm not going to lie to you. I took a rest day when I didn't want to yesterday. So my CNS was not going to be as prime today as I wanted it to be. So I had to really lock it in. And just having a short conversation with someone, just that one instance of positivity completely changed the attitude. Completely. Because it's not just reflecting upon each other and uplifting each other through the weights. It's the fact that you can just sit there, not know a guy or a girl, zero context, but you just both want to do better. And, I tell people it's a form of selflessness, because you obviously, I want to positively uplift people as much as I can because it makes me feel better, That's the initial reaction. I'm going to do my best to make them feel better one way or another when I get into it, but the initial reaction is like, I'm having a slow day. I want something positive in my life right now, and only I can, decide if that's going to happen or not. And so I'm like, let me just at least shoot the shit with a guy, just a sly on the side comment. Hey man, impressive. I see you doing the good work right there. Instant gratitude. Instant, oh damn, we can talk, That's why I love the gym so much. It's not just the gym, by the way. It's just wherever you can express your passion without any standards or anybody giving you their expectations, People just in there trying to do better. People just, especially when you meet those few individuals that are as like-minded as you are, according to your own, your experiences really line up with one another. That is what gets me going, man. Oh, it got me so hyped up because I'm like, it's kind of like this is a weird analogy, but it's kind of like when you get drunk, and you like there are days where you got to drink a lot to actually feel something. But the best days to me, and I don't really drink, but when I go out to drink, the best nights the best kind of drunk is if I've had like a couple drinks. It's not even enough to really do anything to me typically, but you're having such a good time with such good people that you get drunk off the vibes themselves, Similar to that, I had such a good conversation with this random man who has no idea who I am or what I've been through, likewise on my end, yet we just wanted to uplift each other. And that alone, dude, the pricklies from the pre-workout were in, like, every vein in my body felt like it was exploding after that conversation. Because it's really just a serotonin booster. You want your brain to be as excited as humanly possible to throw the stuff, And so that's why today especially was just such a great day to do that and get a really good new standard for what I'm trying to do with the recovery days and my Olympic lifting especially, because I'm very proud of how the squats went. Like the squat today, it felt okay. It wasn't quick by any means like it was the last time. Again, I had to take a day off, so my CNS wasn't primed to squat. but it was okay. It was good enough. And again, I did a low back dominant snatch today, so I was bound to be a little bit slow. The only problem I ran into, which again, all my fault, was another homie was shooting the shit with me, had another good conversation, lovely. But this time it was a bit more low key, and I kind of just got distracted. And so between 3:15 went great. 3:45, as I'm sure you'll see, is when I really slowed down. I took about 15 minutes to shoot the shit without realizing it. I could not move that barbell, man. Going from 90 degrees to ass to grass was what was really killing me, because my low back was so much weaker than I realized compared to my main muscle group. So I had to really lock in the technique. But it's, I sat there and I was like, I can either sit here and say, let's hammer down the strength and just pick up as heavy a number as I can, or I can do the smart thing, which is what I ended up doing, and say, before I go any higher, 365, no matter what, needs to bounce. That needs to be confident, even if it's a bit slow. It needs to be fluent, consistent, right where I want it to be. It wasn't perfect, but it was getting there. 385, even better. And 405 was my favorite set of the day. Because again, happy as all hell, somehow I matched my squat from earlier in the week with how tired I was and going a little bit heavier and harder on the technique on the snatch. That's a great sign. The growth is happening. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to get there. It is going to get there. I'm very, very excited to see what my peak week next week's going to look like, so that I can have a true understanding of where my numbers are at, because then I can properly train the triples, doubles, and singles days around all of my recovery type stuff. Oh, man. I'm telling you, even at work, here's a great example of, how you really can't plan when good things are going to happen to you. I fully believe in a form of karmic fate, You get what you deserve, in my opinion, but you also have to be able to accept what you deserve. Because if you think you deserve more or you think you deserve less, you're missing the point. You don't deserve what you want, It's just going to happen at its own pace. You don't choose to deserve more. You just do if you do. And if you sit there and get something and say it's not enough, that's on you, And so at my work, I've told you guys before, my first idea of work was not going to a hospital at all, let alone a psych unit. But it was the best experience I could have gotten, and I'm thankful for that. And even if I don't get paid that much, it's plenty. It's enough for what I need in life. And so I can't complain. And I had a meeting with my manager this week, got a nice little raise. I'm like, okay, 5% bump. I'll take that shit. Better than most of the nation right now. Even if it's not that high, I'll take it. That's something. That'll be, even if it's just groceries at the end of the month, that's a big bill. I'll take it. Now, here's the thing. We're sitting there shooting the shit. I'm just letting them know, they like hearing my advice on, what can be worked on with the rest of the units. And I like shooting it straight with them. I find that being just upfront and communicative in a very polite and, professional manner, typically people aren't going to get mad at you. If they do, it's a personal problem on their end. And management's always painted out to be the big bad guys when they really aren't. They just have to do all the shitty decisions that people don't agree with according to the hospital standards or the CEO. But anyway, we just got to talking, and she was like, well, hey, if you wanted a security position, we could, offer that to you. And I was like, huh? And I'm like, right now I'm labeled as a mental health technician, or mental health associate. And I'm basically just the guy that does all of the busy work for the patients and does as much patient rapport, doing my best with them to adhere to their needs while the nurses do all the medication and stuff like that. And then we have security on the floor. So for me, this would seem like not a direction to most people, because you're like, oh, well, your next step should be a nurse. But I'm not interested in the medical field. I'm interested in the mental health field. I just want to work with people one-on-one, with coaching and stuff. I'm going to get into that eventually. So in my eyes, I was like, this could be the best opportunity I have to, it's less responsibilities when it comes to the busy work, and I can spend the whole time on the floor just talking with the patients, having that good rapport, getting to know them without having to worry about all the little stuff and all the legalities in my notes and my charts and everything else. I would love to do that. And it's a pay raise? Sheesh, man. And, it's not that I'm sitting here being like, oh, I'm getting paid to do nothing. It's it's obviously a more risky job. There's other responsibilities I'll have to pick up. But it's the fact that it's such a passionate thing for me that it feels like I'm not having to do anything for it. And because I've just accepted this job for what it is and happy with the opportunities presented to me, and then put my efforts into other things in life if I want to do more, like with the gym, with coaching, with potentially doing autistic children's center work in the future, I'm just already getting an automatic bump. I've been here for 7 months. I'll take it. of course, it's not locked in. You know, you never know what's going to happen. But, dude, I'm going to shoot my shot. That's all you can do. I'm going to try my absolute best. The opportunity has landed itself at the palm of my hand, and I'm going to grip that motherfucker as hard as I can, dude. Oh, my God. I'm excited. So, anyway, not to tell you guys of, like, oh, this is how good I'm doing, but good things are going to happen, man. You know, do your best in your daily life. Accept whatever your standard is right now as your best. And when that progress comes, along with all the hard work you're putting in, jump at it. Jump at it. You know? If you haven't gotten an opportunity in a while, time to work harder. Doesn't matter if you feel like you shouldn't have to. It's up to you to want to put in that work, you know? Even though the job has obligational feelings behind it because of needing money and all that, I still put in my best. You know, I still put in as much as I can. It may not equivalent to weightlifting because that's just my all-time number one passion, but I'm still doing the best that I can per the standards I have for myself within that job, you know? So anyway, physically, beyond all that, because I got to get out of here, physically, easily feeling at a solid 9.05. Just barely above a 9. It would be a decent bit higher, but squats just were not it today. And that's a great thing because squats worked so well today beyond me even feeling as weak as I did and not as consistent with the core. So when the CNS is reprimed and tomorrow's going to be clean and jerk recovery with bench press, that'll be awesome. So I'm excited to see what I've got in me, you know. Mentally, 9.75. Good Lord, what a good day. Because beyond the weightlifting itself, like I said with the job, that's great, and it's an opportunity opportunity. I can make a little bit more on the side to put even more passions into my typical daily life. But it's purely just, life is just going the way I want it to, not because of luck, not because of I am privileged to an extent, but not because of the privilege, but because of just being passionate. Just wanting to do it. Just giving enough of a shit to where I can just do it to the best of my ability, regardless of the numbers behind it. And when the success comes with that, I'm like, great. I didn't expect it, and it didn't have to happen, but absolutely I'm going to jump on that. And it just goes from there. There's always more growth to be had. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in the work to equivalent to that comeback, you know? I got to get out of here. I'm passionate as hell today. Good ass day. Meeting a lot of great people. But I hope you guys are great. You know, let me know how the lifts and live's been going. I appreciate y'all hearing me yap as I do. But, you know, be good. Let me know how it's going. And I will see you tomorrow for, like I said, recovery, clean and jerk, and whatever bench press will give me. I love you guys. See you later. Bye.